It reminds me of my time with the Marlins where I was doing budgets for a business and I was doing budgets for a new stadium. Marlins Park was on time and on budget. We were on time and on budget because we had to stick to the budget because we were responsible for overruns and could not afford overruns. And the way to avoid overruns is to be in charge of the entire project, not the public, because the public takes too long to do anything. And you have to not have any sort of change. When you make a decision what the carpet color will be, where the desk chair will go, where the outlets are, where certain fan amenities are, what the layout is of the clubhouse, when you make those decisions, they stay. No change orders. When you make up a budget for a number the way the A's did for their ballpark in Vegas, they just made up a number out of thin air based on nothing, not the price of steel, not any of the fan amenity areas, not the clubhouse layout, not parking, not infrastructure, not nothing. It was literally a number they pulled out of thin air because there's no other way to do it. If you don't have the design documents done and the construction documents done, you don't know what your ballpark is going to cost. You can get an estimate and you can do a deal with a builder that says, hey, we're doing design build, which means we've got $500 million to build the ballpark. Give me whatever you got, but it can't be more than $500 million. The union doesn't like that. MLB doesn't like it because you don't know what you're going to get. And it may not be up to major league standards. And then what they did in Vegas is they did this Sydney Opera House unveil and then said, well, wait a minute, now we got to build that. Well, at least we didn't show them what the outside or what the inside is going to be. But now word came out yesterday, and this is according to the Las Vegas Review-Journal. It appears that the budget for the ballpark in Vegas is no longer $1.5 billion. It's now $1.75 billion. Wow. $250 million, just like that. Oh, no, don't worry. We've added stuff to the ballpark. The stadium's being designed, which means you don't have a real price, but we looked at the design and said, I think we need more clubs, more suites. We need to upgrade some of the general admission spaces, according to the article. How about the player amenity spaces? We'll do all that, and we'll say it's $250 million. Well, what's the revenue generated from that $250 million increase? Did you go to your bank, Goldman Sachs, and say, hi, we're going to need to borrow $300 million more, but don't worry. The changes that we're making, we're going to get more attendance. Wait a minute. The earlier projections called for like 30,000 every game with all those tourists. Wait, you're going to get more than that? How are you going to do that? Oh, yeah, don't worry. We got you covered. Oh, and they're going to spend more because we're going to get to increase the ticket prices. That's what it is. We're going to have way more revenue that will allow us to borrow that much more money. If I'm Goldman Sachs, I'm thinking to myself, what am I doing here? Is my relationship with the Fisher family and the Gap so important that I'm going to just throw bad money after bad with some sort of increase in the project budget that really is not a real budget at all because we don't have the right documents in place to actually price out anything? Don't worry. The A's have said, we got you covered. We only still need the $350 million in public money. We'll come up with the $1.4 billion. How? Don't worry. We're the Fisher family. We got this. As a matter of fact, the bank actually came out and said, yeah, we got a new letter. The new letter is, don't you worry. The Fishers have the availability. They've got the wealth outside of the A's to cover this. Don't worry, they're going after local partners for $500 million that they haven't been able to find because they're valuing the team at a number that is totally unrealistic and pulled out of thin air because there's no golden at-bat rule. If you think that's the final number for the A's ballpark, I've got a ballpark for you to build in Vegas.